Madam Clerk, we're going to go ahead and get started. The invocations being done by Commissioner Hinkleman, the pledge by Commissioner Harrison. They are both here. So if you wish to join us, please rise.
Bell. Curran. Freeling.
Present.
Harrison.
Here.
Hinkleman.
Here.
Ott.
Present.
Pitchford. Tyler.
Here.
Walrath. Morphle.
Here.
Yarborough.
Present.
Elliott.
Here.
You have 10.
Thank you. Minutes from last week. There's a motion by Ott. Is there support?
Support.
Supported by Tyler. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Those minutes are approved. Madam Clerk, I understand we have communications.
You have one communications, visit Southwest Michigan, halfway there. Keep going. Email received 10/17/2025.
Great, thank you. We'll now need a motion to pause our regular meeting and convene a public hearing to talk about the resolution for the 2026 budget, which is further down on our agenda. But right now, the public hearing for the 2026 budget, is there a motion to pause the regular meeting and convene the public hearing? Moved by Freeling.
Support.
Supported by Yarborough. Discussion? Roll call, please.
Curran.
Yes.
Freeling.
Yes.
Harrison.
Yes.
Hinkleman. Ott.
Yes.
Tyler.
Yes.
Walrath.
Yes.
Werfel.
Yes.
Yarborough.
Yes.
Elliott.
Yes,
Bell.
thank you, Jake. And Jake, the young lady with you is,
Sarah Charnowski is the assistant finance director / budget coordinator.
okay,
So
so Sarah
she is-
did all the work. then.
Yes. I'm gonna try and keep that thing. She does all the work. We're good with that.
Okay. All right, well,
Okay.
Sarah, welcome, and I see the treasurer is here, and the register of deeds along with the sheriff, but go ahead, Jake.
Okay. So we've had multiple discussions, but this is a brief overview of the 2026 annual budget. We'll go through this. Try not waste too much of your time. Okay. So the 2026 budget is, the general fund is showing a 0 use of fund balance, so that is balanced budget. Overall, the overall use of fund balance is 10.58 million. 4 million and change of that is the Raffaelli tax settlement that will happen in 26, allegedly. If not, it'll just roll to the next year. So that is there. It's been there for the last couple of years. 1.9 of that would be facility enhancement projects. So that is money that we have as well. And then some of that, the other parts will be either health department and building improvements or other capital projects. So big takeaway is general fund is balanced, and overall we're using 10 million of overall funds. The revenue for the primary government, is 187.32 million. You can see that's up 2.54 from last year, so only 1.4%. Looking back at the last couple of years, 21 to 23, it was going up. It's slowed off significantly. What makes up that primary government revenue? The majority of it is going to be intergovernmental revenue, benefit reimbursement, property taxes are a big one, and then charges for service. Let's see, that would be 84.2%. Property taxes are going up 2.2025 million or 3.1%. Intergovernmental revenue, including state revenue sharing, is actually gone down 4.8%. And that's a little bit about that. There'll be more about taxes in a second. So this is the taxes. It's the primary source of funding for us between intergovernmental revenue. It is the second highest revenue source. The graph shows how much it is going up. So in 2025, it has gone up 7.6%, and state equalized values have gone up 1.11 billion. If you look over the last couple of years, in 23, you had a growth of 14.3%. In 24, you had a growth of 16%. It's down to 7.6. So the growth and the equalized values are slowing down. Millage rates. These are the millage rates that are in the budget and what have been voted upon. As you can see, they haven't changed over the last couple of years. So there's the note at the bottom. County allocated millage is 5.425, but due to the Headley amendment, it is capped at 4.768. So this is how much that millage translates to the budget. So in 26, all of these millages are bringing a total of 67.789. This is, it has the reduction of the nuclear facility in Bridgman factored into here, and that will be the case until that is adjusted in a couple of years. Intergovernmental revenue is the leading source, just edging out property taxes for the county budget. So that would be 73.97 million, or roughly 40% of the budget. There's a breakdown down below. Federal grants are 7.6. So that's how it's broken out for there. The revenue to road department is not included in the extra revenue that was at the end of the budget, because based off the marijuana tax appeal, they're not sure how much that is going to actually get through. State revenue sharing is budgeted at 7.391, and there's the note. Increased revenue sharing to road department is not included at this time. Chart showing how much it's gone up. Other revenues, including internal service funds, benefit reimbursements, are roughly 25.5 million, or 13.6%. Increase in revenue, excluding indirect, of 2.779 is health insurance fund benefit reimbursement of 3.24 million is a big part of that. Expenditures for the primary government. So as you can see, it was trending up. 2025, it was 201. This year, it has actually gone down 3.8 million, or 1.9%, and that is an effort to present a balanced budget. Salaries and wages, benefit costs, these are what make up the big portion of the budget. Salaries and wages are 30%. Benefit costs are 17.6%. Internal service 11, capital 5.8. Personnel costs have increased for a little over 4 million. Capital outlay decreased 7 million, and that is gone down because of the deferred maintenance money is being spent and we're not getting any more. Internal service benefits increased 3.3. Oh, and that's what's going to make up that number down at the bottom. Sorry. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't want to just read out loud, but at the same time. So let's see, road construction materials. So everything up above is what's going to come down to that grand total of the 206,000 in expenses for the primary government. Or 206 million, not thousand, sorry. Personnel is 95 million of that. So that was the benefits and the salaries and wages. So as you can see, it's gone up a little bit here. 2026, so this is the full-time equivalent employees. Over the years, it was creeping up. In 2025, it was 84 or 842.2. In 26, it has gone down to 830.2. That is the removing of vacancy or vacant positions that have been vacant for a while. And again, that is in an effort to balance the budget. Personnel expenses are budgeted to increase by 4.1 million or 9%. This includes compensation changes that would already be in the contract or regular step changes. If a new agreement with a union changes, that would not be reflected in here. Benefit costs are budgeted to increase 1.5 million. That's driven by pension of 1.2 and healthcare insurance going up by 137,000. So here, the budget over the year is 4.1 million. General fund budget reflects revenues and other sources of 81.45 million and uses of 81.457. That equals each other because it gives you no use of fund balance. At the end of 26, we're expecting the fund balance to be at 37%, 37.4% of general fund expenses. So, sorry, revenues here. So this is the revenues that are making up your 75 million. And then as we go through this, expenses, or this is everything that would make up the expense side of that. You all have the budget book after you approve the budget. If you approve the budget, it will be posted on the county website so that people can view it as their leisure as well. This is just line by line of the general fund budget. So then if you follow the 26 column down, our expenses are 69 million, and then you have your transfers in and out, comes to a net change in fund balance of 0. So the ending fund balance after 26 would be 30,473,000. Primary government, so this is what you have in your resolution as well. It's showing all of the funds. So the general fund at the end of the year, net fund of 0, or net change of 0. Special revenue funds are going down 5.6 million. Debt service fund is not changing. Capital projects fund is going down. Internal service fund is going up slightly, and enterprise funds are going down as well. The component units on that would be the brownfield, land bank, and economic development. So overall, the primary government use of fund balance is 10.58 million, and then the total, including component units, is 14.58 million. Now, I know I went through that very fast, so if you have questions, let me know and I will do my best to answer.
Anyone have questions? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so, few things, road revenue, you mentioned marijuana tax, or about gas tax?
I believe that would be in there. They only mentioned that the road to the
We said that we were gonna spend for that money, so it's gonna go to fund balance, their fund balance didn't change.
So again, through the budget process, this is something that the road department has maintained. They understand that any additions to fund balance, they have to go through their parent committee. We have agreed with them to show a relatively low revenue projection because we believe that there is going to be some challenges on the incoming dollars from the state. Do we have how much they have budgeted for total revenue?
On the road department?
Yeah.
Yes, let me find what page that would be on. It's in one of these notes.
Yeah, the state is projecting as much as, I believe, 7.4 million to be paid to the road department, and our number is significantly lower than that.
And I understand the marijuana tax not including that, because it's being challenged, it's already a lawsuit going on, but the gas tax increase wasn't, so.
Correct.
So here's road construction materials, but this is revenue.
Budget, look for road department and then total revenue from the MTA.
Does she have the book?
Yeah, she's got a.
Okay. Yeah, that, I'd have to look at the. Yes, please.
Commissioners, just 1 second. We're looking it up in the booklet.
Revenue this year was 36 million, and for 26, you're projecting at 36 million.
Yeah, so, yeah,
So we're not expecting any increase.
So we are not planning for the expense. We are bringing in flat revenue. And it is completely flat compared to the prior year.
That's what we
yeah.
expected it to be
Yeah,
in the fund balance, because we weren't gonna use it.
correct.
So, but we're not showing it at all.
Just not showed on the revenue or the fund balance side.
And if there is a desire to seek an amendment, that's easy. That's something within the board's purview. And
Okay, so that was just one of my questions.
Yep, yep.
Also, questions, the capital projects, we're moving forward at 1.9 million. From this year, we're moving forward to next year that we had already allocated to capital, but the budget line item is 2.3. So the additional $500,000 is coming from fund balance, which we wanted to be at 0.
For capital project fund, yes.
For everything, we wanted to be at 0 from fund balance, right?
Yes,
And so we're taking an additional 500,000 then from fund balance for capital. projects?
yes.
Okay, 'cause we never went over those in those budget hearings. And then the last thing I wanted to ask, and I didn't see in the presentation or in the book, is in our budget hearings, we had a number of conversations about different line items. And I wanted to find out, where did those line items end? Did we get rid of some of them? Did we keep some of them? Did we get rid of anything new? What changed? From our last budget hearing, from those lists that you presented with us, so these are some options
Oh, okay.
to balance the budget.
Mhm.
So to balance the budget, we removed all of the electricity at 500 Circle Drive, which was another 80,000. We unfunded the 6 extra positions at the juvenile center, which that had the general fund impact, which doing so changed our revenue slightly, but just less revenue, but then the less expense there. Our community development is, they've paid for a portion of their salary and admin fees as well too. And I believe we didn't cut any more positions.
We talked about NACO, we talked about MAC, we talked about various things.
Those have all been unfunded.
So we are no longer a member of MAC.
So no, MAC, you still have the membership. Midwest Strategy is unfunded. DCS Strategy is unfunded. NACO is unfunded. And I think that's it.
Yeah, I don't think there was any more.
Okay.
Do we intend to amend this budget before January 1st? Because we only had 2 budget hearings and we were still very much in-depth conversations about some topics that I don't know. I think I'm kind of like Julie. I don't know what happened to them. So are we going to have another budget hearing or at least a meeting amongst us to find out what happened to those items and we decide as a board whether we want them in or out? And I know there's 2 main topics
Right.
that we never decided on.
The mechanism for amending the budget, we have the authority to do that. And the thought was, let's go ahead and get it approved in the month of November. And if we have to come back and amend it, frankly, we can even amend it after the first of the year. But I understand what you're talking about, and I know one of the items anyway has to do with health insurance. And we have to look at what we have in the way of slippage for 25, what we expect we're going to have available. And then the way the landscape has changed so dramatically in the last 2 weeks in terms of costs dropping. And we anticipate that those cost reductions are going to positively impact our cost of providing health insurance coverage, specifically for the GLP-1 class of medications. So it's quite conceivable could approve this today and then come back and amend it. The caveat I would say is we want to make sure we're coordinating with our benefit, our third-party administrator, Blue Cross Blue Shield, so that we don't have coverage lapses that occur. If we're gonna do something, we have to do it in this calendar year. Because the 1st of January coverage lapse would lapse, and then if we try to bring it back, we're going to have, what they say, 60-day gap probably in coverage, where if we do it before the end of the calendar year, we can make it seamless.
And those are currently out of this budget, right?
Correct,
Yeah, that was my question. It's not in this budget.
correct.
So
But
it's covered until
the end of
December
December,
31st. But
right?
then what happens after?
Well, we need
January
to
1st?
fix it before 26,
Okay, we can do that between now and then.
correct?
Okay, so we need to have another budget workshop because I heard you say you're cutting DCS. Well, I think the BC Bit people would want to have a discussion on that. That's a pretty important thing to cut. And we haven't had any discussion about it whatsoever.
Yeah, well, we'll have that on the list. I think the rationale was, don't we have to have this done by the end of November?
You do, sir.
Yeah, so we gotta go ahead and approve it. But I'm just one vote. I'm approving it with the thought that we're gonna change it before the end of the year. So,
Thank you for that comment. Otherwise, I was gonna vote no.
yeah,
So
well,
I will vote knowing full well that we're gonna have this further discussion.
all right, was I recorded or anything? I don't know. Is this- Okay, well, then we're good. Yeah, so that's the rationale, because we're running out of time under the statute to get this approved, but the statute does not preclude amending it once it's approved. Alex and then Bob.
Well, I was just gonna make the comment, and we're all gonna be asked, we know it, we're not actually at a balanced budget because we're pulling money out of the reserves, and that money is coming from the general reserve fund, correct? So if someone asks me, that's what my answer is going to be.
So something that I brought up several times is the word Raffaelli. And one thing that you talk about a potential $10 million fund balance drawdown. Something that we have talked about through multiple budget sessions is we have carried a significant amount of money each year since 2020 to cover the cost of the Raffaelli settlement. For this upcoming year, is it 4.5 or is it 5?
It was 4 Raphael is 4.6.
$4.3 million of planned expense is coming, but to say, will it occur in 26? I have no idea.
And that's included in that, and that's why there's that 10 million.
Yes.
Including the
Mhm.
4.9.
That's correct.
So again, the budget, as we start, we project what's gonna happen in 26 will change because of dynamics, more money, less money and the like. So, I mean, we shouldn't get too hung up on a budget being changed at a later date. The other is, I think it's ironic that, we're compliant with the state law passed by the legislature that we have to have our budget approved, a balanced budget in the month of November. Of course, they really did not hold themselves to that
Same standard.
same standard. Just an observation, that's all.
3 or 4 months late, it's
The thing speaks for itself, as they say. Why don't we just tentatively plan on the 11th for dealing with budget amendments? We're meeting again tomorrow afternoon with representatives from Blue Cross Blue Shield. We met with them Tuesday. Well, we met with them again this past Tuesday, 2 days ago. Seems like longer. So, and we'll be meeting again Friday afternoon. And meetings are productive, informative, and getting full participation and good ideas, options. Anticipate having more information Friday. A couple of their pharmacists who've been involved are quite knowledgeable, even about things like coupons that are available not just GoodRx, but other ones, and coupons that you can use to offset your copay for certain medications. So I'm beyond cautiously optimistic. I'm confident that they're going to give us what we need to be able to address the insurance coverage, the open question there, and DCS certainly as well. And we'll have a better idea 2 weeks from now, forecasting where we're going to be when Finance Committee gets together at the end of December and pours everything back in to our general fund. So let not your heart be troubled. I think we're okay doing this and be back in 2 weeks to fine tune it. Just 3 weeks, sorry. So does that clarify or does that muddy the water? Okay. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Yes, ma'am.
I do just want to take a chance to thank staff for the work that they did do. This is Jake's first time at the helm. And I know that our former financial service director, Doug James, was there helping to navigate, but it's much appreciated that staff took the directives from this board, brought to us a balanced budget from the general fund perspective. And then also took into consideration those items that are needed from the special funds and the use of funds from there as well. This is the beginning of a conversation because this is 1 year that we already know that we're going to be lean. And it's going to continue that way as we deal with the tax tribunal outcomes and just living within our means. But I do want to take the chance to thank you guys because I know it was a lot of work, a lot of discussions. I appreciate the chair. Oh, and Sarah, yes, I do appreciate Sarah. I appreciate the chair also saying that we're going to have further conversation and look at the amendment as we're having those conversations as it relates to healthcare coverage, but also for the BC bit, for the DCS technology, looking at BEAD and having that potentially be on the horizon of being awarded. It begs the conversation. And so I just wanted to take that chance to thank staff for the work that they did. And I'm sorry to have been remiss in not including you by name, Sarah, because we know that you actually put the budget together, right? Yes. Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Okay,
That's it for me, unless you guys have any more questions.
thank you, Jake.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we need to do while we're in a public hearing, other than hear from the public? Thank you. So with that in mind, anyone out there have anything they'd like to say about the 2026 budget? If so, this is your time to speak.
Elter Hager. Now, did I hear right that my property taxes went up 7.6%? Did I hear right? No, wrong? Anyway, I want to know where I get one of those budget books too. Okay? Where? Let me have that one.
We'll get you one.
No, really, I want one. Okay, thank you.
Adolph, we will give you a budget book as a courtesy, but with the understanding that there will be a quiz on it later, so you will actually need to read it.
Okay, I'll take it.
All right. We've got them upstairs if you want one.
Where?
Upstairs.
Thank you.
Anyone else wish to be heard?
He knows where that is.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Jake.
What do you say? What do you say? I'm just sharing.
Okay, if there are no other public comments, a motion to conclude the public hearing and go back into regular session is in order, moved by Werfel, supported by Freeling. If there's no discussion about that, we'll just go right into roll call, Madam Clerk.
Sorry, Harrison,
Yes.
Hinkleman. Yes. Pittsford. Sorry, Tyler. Yes. Horace.
Yes.
Werfel.
Yes.
Yarborough.
Yes.
Elliot. Bell. Curran.
Yes.
Freeling.
Yes.
Okay, we're back in regular session. Julie, did you still want to pull the budget resolution from consent? Okay, so we'll be pulling 367. But the rest of the consent calendar, including the other two added resolutions, would be ripe and ready to vote on if everyone's okay with the one pulling the budget resolution specifically, but all the others would flow through on the consent calendar.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, moved by Curran, supported by Volrath. Discussion. And if there's no discussion, we'll have a roll call to run everything through the consent calendar except the resolution ending in 367, Madam Clerk.
Hinkleman.
Yes.
Yes. Tyler.
Yes.
Volrath.
Yes.
Werfel.
Yes.
Yarborough.
Yes.
Elliot.
Yes.
Bell.
Yes.
Curran.
Yes.
Freeling.
Yes.
Harrison.
What do we do to Teresa?
Okay, so the consent calendar has been approved. The budget resolution ending in 367 is now on the floor. Is there a motion to approve that budget resolution? Moved by Werfel. Is there support? Supported by Volrath. Discussion. Julie.
Yeah, I'd like my motion actually to read that I'd like to approve the 2026 budget with the understanding that we will have another hearing in December to potentially modify.
Tentatively on December 11.
Tentatively on December 11th would be fine.
Madam, you referenced the word hearing.
Oh, sorry.
Discussion.
Discussion.
Okay.
What is it that we need to have?
Uh,
And it can be a separate meeting like we had the other budget.
Just with the use of the public hearing, we will have some advertising requirements. and
Oh,
some
yeah,
additional
no, we don't have
costs.
to have a public hearing. I was saying a budget hearing, I thought, but
Well, if we amend the budget, I don't think we have to have a public hearing.
yeah, so I'm just saying a
Right.
budget.
So
Meeting.
discussion at a regular session
Whatever.
of the board, tentatively December 11th.
Sounds good.
2025. And was that your second, Dave? That's what you seconded?
Is that your second? Just say yes.
I thought.
Hand that budget over.
Yeah. Okay, so.
And I
Madam
guess
Clerk, you
I'd
got
also,
that?
oh,
So
I'll
the
clarify
motion-
that the reason I asked for it to be pulled is I believe the budget, since it is such a large portion of our job, that it should be its own vote. That's the only reason I asked for it to be pulled.
Got it. And so the motion as seconded is to approve the budget with the further understanding that the board will at its meeting on the 11th of December have further discussion about the budget since we contemplate that we may need to amend it. Basically, that's the motion on the floor.
Mr. Chair, before you call for a vote. So what you all have discussed, I think that we may need the flexibility to simply amend the 25 budget that may accomplish some of the goals that have been discussed by this group. So with that understanding, we will be working for that December meeting to bring you some recommendations for the 2025 fiscal year budget, the current year, and then potentially some changes to the 2026 budget.
Perfect.
Just want to make sure that's understood.
That's good.
With the thought being that the changes to the 25 budget would be mirrored in the 26 budget.
Yeah, it's probably more technical than we need to get into now, but if it's the intent of this board to extend coverage, healthcare coverage from 25 through 26 for the GLP issue, we have been working actively with Blue Cross Blue Shield over the last several weeks. The number for that coverage continues to go down. The options for the board's consideration appear to be going up. And if it is the desire of the board to have that roll into 26, I think we could accomplish that through an amendment of 25, pushing dollars then into the 26 budget.
Got it. Is that clear for everyone? Any comments in the way of discussion about the pending motion or resolution? All right, hearing none, Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Tyler,
Yes.
Holrat,
Yes.
Werfel,
Yes.
Yarborough,
Yes.
Elliot,
Yes.
Bell,
Yes.
Curran,
Yes.
Freeling,
Yes.
Harrison,
Yes.
Hinkleman, Hot.
Yes.
Okay, the budget resolution is adopted with the provisions as stated in the motion by Werfel, as seconded by Commissioner Volrath, and then approved by all of us. So,
Mr. Chair, one quick comment. To the other group, I've said this in the other budget workshops, but Jake, Sarah, Doug spent a ton of time working on this. And something that they have really done a good job of is presenting facts, letting department heads understand what their options are, and then getting really good buy-in from not just appointed officials, but also elected officials. So we've got a lot of those elected officials in the room who actively worked with us as we tried to just control the overall spend. So to the board, this is me saying, you've got a really good team. They worked really hard on this, but they also got really good cooperation from just a ton of the county's officials. Those are my comments, sir.
thank you. Just a quick note, I'm going to have to leave in about 10 minutes because I have to go back and change and get ready for court in Kalamazoo at 1:30. I don't think this will work, what I'm wearing. So at that point, we'll turn it over to Terry. But let's get started with committee reports. Admin is listed first.
Thank you, Matt. First in to see us this morning was Don Trail from Building and Grounds. He went over the deferred maintenance list, how he is whittling away on that list of where he's at and will be at by the end of the year. He has some money that's going to be carried over into next year. And he said, other than the project here at the administration building, once this is done, we should be able to get rid of our contract with Daniel B. Bacchioli Construction. If you remember, 2 years ago, we contracted with him to do construction management because of the scope. We didn't want our building and grounds people trying to do everything. So we're getting to the point now where we really don't need him, and that's a good thing. So we will probably have something coming before the board on that contract. After Don was Scott Sanford from our Public Defender's Office. And I think he came up to PHS. He primarily talked to us a lot about staffing. And I think the main message that I want to display here for this board is the shortage of all attorneys, not just public defenders, not just prosecutors, all collectively. He started talking about some of the ages of the attorneys and how much longer they're going to be around or won't be around. And it's critical for us in the county, but it is not unique to us. So him, like a lot of our department heads, are being very creative in their recruiting practices to try to get employees into Berrien County. So with all that said, he's gonna come to PHS and we were fine with that, adding the paralegal. And his biggest argument was the beginning steps when you bring a public defender in to make those modifications so that the numbers don't change other than he can bring them in at a higher step. And we were fine with that. And we appreciate all the work that Scott does. And he also took the finance, I believe, the waiver to get his building lease renewed. Then we have a number of resolutions for you the next time we get together. 363. This is the public defender's lease on his building, so you'll see that. We have a number of grant applications. 373 is for the sheriff's office to apply for the Eddie Eagle Consumer Character Grant. 375 is to apply for a grant. This is the Michigan Department of Corrections for the Sheriff's Department. 376, this is the State Court Administrator for the courts to apply for a drug court grant. 377, this is again another court grant. 378 is another court grant. 379 is another court grant. And 380 is two grants for, or is through Southwest Michigan Behavioral Health. And this is for drug treatment and mental health court. And then 381 is the last one we have for you. This is also a court grant, and it's for the sobriety court. And we had a Bering Community Foundation request that I signed, and it's for $17,072.22. And it's for the Sheriff's Department maintenance, upkeep, whatnot on the motorcycles. And that is our report.
Questions for administration? Is finance ready to go? John.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Had a quick meeting today, of course, got a lot done. First thing that we did was we had some bid opening, and we opened two bids, both to community development for housing improvements, CDBG housing improvements, one on Messner Drive in Benton Harbor and one on Hollywood Road in St. Joe, and we've referred those back to community development. The next thing we had was a request for a deviation from a bid that we opened last week, and it was for hoist at the motor pool. And three bids came in for us. They ranged from $29,000, almost $30,000 down to $20,000. And the request for deviation was the lowest bid, or the equipment, the bid didn't really meet specifications. And the motor pool department also, with the one that they wanted us to go with, American Hoist is a firm that they're familiar with and that currently services everything, and the deviation wasn't large. And so the low bid was $19,444.44 for something called Lift Now Automotive, and that was out of New York. And the one that they were requesting, motor pool was requesting that we approve, was for $23,700 from American Hoist out of Kentwood, Michigan, and we moved forward on that. Let's see, then we went to resolutions, and some of the resolutions you've already approved. One was just for an update to the October apportionment that was approved today. We paid the bills today, and then also passed the budget today. Those were all ones that we worked through today as far as resolutions and signed today, but you've already approved those in the consent calendar. Two that will be coming to you on December 4th. One is for the BSNA tax system in 2011. Tax system was migrated to BSNA tax application, and this is basically to streamline the service and support for the local units of government, and it's something that we go through every second year. And so for the next 2 years, this is approving the update on that, which is for 26 and 27. I think it was 5%. That's correct. So that's what that was. And then let's see, lastly, we had, this is if anybody's interested, this is a copy of that agreement, and I'm happy to pass it around. It's the agreement that goes to the local municipalities. Lastly, we had some waiver approvals, and those waiver approvals were one came from the Sheriff's Department, and it was for equipment, labor, for camera installs, to help for setup, and it was from Securitas Technologies. Budgeted amount for that was $26,000, and the waiver amount was only $17,495, so it fell within the parameters. We were happy to sign that. And then the other one was from Vista Technologies, and that was for the health department for some upgrade and service work to their both hardware and service upgrade to their AV work in their health department room in the library. The budgeted amount was $90,635, and the waiver amount was for $58,532. So it fell within very acceptable ranges. And if I missed something, that's our report.
Any questions for finance? Personnel and Human Services.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We also met this morning. We did review and approve Mr. Sanford's request regarding the paralegal for Niles, as well as the adjustment in the titles to allow them to be a little more competitive in the market for assistant attorneys. We also reviewed and approved a contract between the health department and a private vendor for support for the Bering Health Consortium. We did hear a report from our Parks Department. Jill and Jason came in, talked through the various projects underway at Love Creek, Silver Beach, Madeline Bertrand, and then also at Galene River. And so we also noted that they had won several awards in the Herald Palladium, best of Bering County. And so it just confirms the good work that they've been doing. And so and then I've also we have a recommendation regarding a replacement for the Workforce Development Board. And I can do that if the chair would like that at this time. So we're recommending Marla Schneider to replace John Janik on the Workforce Development Board. This would be fill the vacancy of Mr. Janik, and then the term would expire on December 31st of 2027, and I would so move.
All right, it's been moved and supported. Any discussion on that appointment? This one is just a I can't say it, voice vote. There we go. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. All right. Marla is appointed.
Okay, that concludes my report.
Are there any questions for personnel? Hearing none. Let me get my bearings here. We move on to commissioner reports. John?
The only thing I have to report on is I attended our mental health authority board meeting yesterday. We had our ends monitoring report. We also received a report from our CEO. He updated us on the PHP rebid and told us that the governor is planning to meet with Senator Debbie Stabenow to just talk about that whole process and advocate for a more collaborative approach, because I believe they're supposed to be deciding on who the award that bid to in mid-December. So we're going to be receiving updates on that. Also, we did our annual dinner and compliance training. So yeah, that was it. So that concludes my report.
Thank you.
I have no report other than I did not attend our meeting last night. I was under the weather and probably still should not be here, but that is my report.
I have a Nats meeting next Tuesday at 1:30 at the Niles District Library.
I attended the Blue Cross Blue Shield meeting. I attended the Bering County Historical Association meeting. And I think I reported out that the executive director, is leaving, and their curator, who is John Mora, is now going to be the interim director until they find someone to take over. Yesterday, I met with MDOT in the city of St. Joe, along with Dave Olrath, Mark Heiliger, and Kevin Stack, and we talked about the turn out here at Pearl Street. Had a very, very good discussion. It was very productive. Representatives from the city were there. MDOT was there, including John Smith, the engineer that came and talked to us. Had a good discussion, and I can't say enough about Kevin Stack. Having him there, being able to talk that language of those engineers. I gave attaboy to Thaddeus last week. I'll give an attaboy to Kevin this week. He did a fantastic job. So bottom line is MDOT is going to go back to their design review committee people and run this by them, the city. They have a focus group. They put a lot of things together. They're going to go back to them and discuss it. and they'll let us know if they're gonna put that turn in or not. But again, an attaboy to Kevin, and I thought it was a very, very good meeting. And that's my report.
Thank you, and thank you for going and helping with that discussion. Appreciate it. Dave?
Monday, we had the Material Management Planning Committee, and I've got an email that I'm gonna pass on to each of you. It's just a survey regarding the recycling, and we need to get this out to the public as much as we can. They want to use whatever means we can to get it to the public, get as many opinions as we can. This committee will be moving into next year. We've the last meeting we had, I told you we set up some work committees. A couple of those met, and they had some issues with what they thought may be open to the public and things like that. And so we had a discussion Monday about continuing those three committees, and I think narrowed those down to one committee that's going to meet and be open to the public, and the other committees will be some type of a workshop, but until we figure that out the next meeting. But if you can get this survey out to people, just to the public, get them to, fill out the survey, because the recycling stuff is coming. It's just a matter of time, and the more opinion we can put out there and give our thoughts on it now, the better off we're going to be 10 years from now when we look back and say, hey, why did we do this? Now's the time, because it's the planning, and when things are set, they're going to be set. So if you would help out there, I'd appreciate it. Yesterday was a great meeting once again with Jim and the city of St. Joe and their people and MDOT, and I thought it was a great meeting. And Jim, like he says, Kevin did a great job of, at least we told them what we wanted, and we're able to present an alternative, which was workable, and say, hey, yeah, and it was, by one of the engineers that they know is capable of making those decisions and making those things. So that was a great meeting. And then let's see, we had land banks today, so I'm done.
So I attended the meeting of the CEO Council. That was down at Niles Township in their new building, and it was very nice, Adolph. So there you go. And then also a couple of the meetings on Blue Cross and the insurance coverage. And then this morning I was on the WSJM for this Southwestern Michigan Community Action Agency food drive.
I heard it this morning.
Thank you. How'd I sound? Thank you.
Is that on Sirius XM?
Then they got you up.
You have a channel on XM?
I attended Brownfield last week. We had a little bit of a discussion about that there's these housing projects, these brownfield housing projects going on in various townships, and they're resurrecting some of their own brownfields and stuff like that on this. So I did bring that up at the CEO meeting then on Friday, and said it'd be nice to have Dan maybe come to the CEO meeting and talk to all the townships at once and about at least coordinating some of that effort. And I think it would be helpful to everybody.
And the roads.
And the roads.
You brought up the roads for these developments.
And the roads for the developments should be county roads, should be to spec, because these are gonna be unsuspecting people eventually that will buy these houses or in these developments. I also brought up the CAD that Brian had asked me to bring up at that meeting. Had Connexus, I've had two Connexus meetings since we last met. One was the investment committee last week, and then yesterday we had the executive committee met. And we had Parks yesterday, and she brought up the materials management. Perhaps Louise, perhaps the press could help us get the word out on that survey, and getting more input back from the public on that. Land bank is today, and tomorrow I'll be at the SMCAA food drive over at Rogers. So please come see me and hang out with us and donate. That's my report.
Good. I just wanted to announce that on this Tuesday, the 27th, Mamie L. Yarborough Public Library will be on the radio on Ken and Friends. And we're introducing our new director of the library and letting people know that we will be participating in the Art Hop on December 12th. So that people can come to the library and meet him and see artwork and music and all. And so I'm gonna get you a flyer or whatever they put out and give it to you and hope that you'll come, because so many people talk about, I used to go there as a child. So we say, come back, come now. That's my report. Thank you.
Thank you for that report and thank you all for the work that you do. Just to highlight, I too attended the Brownfield with Commissioner Warfel, Commissioner Tyler. And we did have some updates and we did have some discussion. There was a meeting again with Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan with those that are on the executive committee discussing healthcare coverage. And then there was a county planning commission and we had 3 amendments for Buchanan Township as it related to agricultural products that may be sold in ag districts. And then New Buffalo Township discussed food trucks and where those can be located and how those need to be handled. And last but not least, there was amendments for Weesaw Township as it related to short-term rentals and a few other items that they looked into to amend. So that's my report as a commissioner. I'll turn it over to our administrator to highlight some good work on behalf of his staff.
Yeah, so everyone, if you take a look at the back of the room, Maureen Adams is there. And in front of the board, and then what will be posted on the county's website is a photo, and it is a picture of Maureen standing next to U.S. Army Major General Paul D. Rogers and Adjutant General and Director of the Michigan Department of Military and Veteran Affairs. She is being awarded in that photo the 2025 Veteran Service Provider of the Year. Maureen, well done.
Absolutely.
Oh, well done,
There's-
Annette.
There's the picture.
Oh, yeah, that's a good picture.
So this goes on to note that she's been presented the Veteran Service Provider who has demonstrated noteworthy impact on veteran population in connecting benefits, employment, education, healthcare, quality of life, and innovative programming. During her tenure, she has expanded services offered to veterans and their families, including the annual Stand Down event for more than 200 veterans annually. The Dine and Discover events that she's implemented provided important veteran information along with a meal. The Vietnam War era veterans celebration attracted a large crowd. A booth at the Berrien County Youth Fair, and on and on and on. Maureen, well done. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So to the board, you can find more information about the award and about Maureen on the county's website. And to Louise, not that we're trying to ask you to write a story, but there's the story.
There's the story. Oh.
And then, Madam Chair, members of the board, I was hoping to yield my time to Sheriff Height. I know that he had some information that he was hoping to bring to the board's attention. Sheriff, are you ready?
Sure.
Well, he's taking that time to walk up there. Maureen, again, congratulations. You are an absolute asset to the county and the work that you do for that office. So thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity. I've had a lot of questions since yesterday because you have seen a lot of activity in Berrien County. So I think it's important for you to realize the county resources that were developed in that as well. So I'll give you a little bit of breakdown. It's still, the FBI will be the point of contact for press because a lot of these are federal charges that happened. But a lot of county resources played a part in getting this investigation to where it was. The admin committee has heard me say before about our merger of a sweat with the Michigan State Police several years ago. That continues to pay off very big dividends. I give Sheriff Bailey credit for wanting to do that, and it continues to pay off in this investigation as well. So with the activity yesterday, there were 14 search warrants that were conducted throughout Berrien County. 3 people were lodged on federal charges, 1 lodged on state charges. 5 pistols, firearms were recovered, 1 was stolen. 10 federal indictments are most likely coming in the near future. Some of what was seized is 1 gram of crystal meth, 2,550 grams of fentanyl and heroin, 15 ounces of codeine syrup, 2 pounds of marijuana, 4.2 grams of crack cocaine, 603 grams of cocaine, 2 pill presses, and 1 kilo press. Some of the targets, it's targeted individuals, been on investigation for several years. It involved individuals from Michigan, California, and Tennessee. Some of the county resources that were used, as you know, we hear a lot about taxes and millages, and I want to make sure we're good stewards of that money that the taxpayers pay. 90% of the resources that were used in this operation are from the public safety millage. They're funded through that. So when you hear some of these, the tactical response unit, 3 canines, we did have 9 road patrol deputies. A large amount of the FBI DA office worked out of our EOC. So there's a big thank you from the FBI to the county for the resources that we had in doing that. And just again, as you know, the millage funds, we've got a detective sergeant assigned to the FBI Violent Crime Task Force, 2 part-time detectives who are very involved in this with SWEAT. But I can't say enough about the men and women in SWEAT, which is made up of us, the Sheriff's Office, State Police, and some other local agencies that participate in SWEAT for that organization. And then the cooperation between, I sometimes take flack for cooperation with my federal partners, but I do that in public safety. And what I can say is, as of yesterday, it helped make Berrien County a little safer. So, and then one other note, you'll hear this in the future, but we also had 2 graduate at the same time from the DOC Academy. So Billy French, which some of you will know because he's a longtime fireman, and Gavin Kirk. And Billy was selected to be the class speaker by his peers, and was also selected the overall student by his peers. So we continue to have very good at Genesee County. They continue to speak very highly of the caliber of people we send there. So my hat's off to them, and we'll do it again. Thank you.
Thank you for that update, Sheriff Height. Moving on to public comments. This is the area of general public comment. Anything under the sun, feel free to come to the podium, state your name, jurisdiction, and you'll have 2 minutes to address the board.
Elsa Hager Township. Hey, I really appreciate the book. I know my tax officer work, right? It's a pretty good meeting today. No, I don't know half, well, I know that one. No, I wish these people would carry a badge or something, you know. No, already, I think I harped on that a couple of times before. Yeah, something like that. So I go over there and I can find out who they are. I don't know half these people. I'm glad you guys are here. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Peltzer. Are there any other public comments at this time? All right, hearing none. We're going to close out public comments and move on to other business. I know that there was some discussion in finance as it related to coming into the holiday season. Our schedule that we have posted around the Christmas holiday, we have December 25th and December 26th closed. There was just some discussion about whether or not December 24th could be a shortened workday to be a half day. We've talked with financial services and looked at what the budgetary impact may be. Looks like it'll be, go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, rough estimate, right around $60,000 if the board was desirous of closing for the half day. Now that is a rough estimate. We can definitely dive into it more if the board is desirous of having that conversation at a future meeting.
Would you guys like to entertain to discuss that when we come back sometime in the first week of December?
I actually think that if you're going to discuss it, I'm sorry.
Thanks, John.
If you're going to discuss it, probably now's the time. People are making plans for their Christmas Eve, whether it's a church service, whether it's family, whether it's travel. And so if they're going to set it up, you know, you can make the decision now or not make the decision now. We opted to move the day to the 26th because that gave them a long weekend, you know, but the fair request came in to say at half day, there's a lot of people that are trying to get to family functions. And so the discussion was brought up, and it's thought process to you folks.
And I think it was brought to our attention that in the new directory, or no, it's at the 26th. It shows Christmas Eve off all day.
On the
No,
direct,
it's in something. That directory is for 20, no, it's for this 25, isn't it? 25, 26.
on our directory, I
You know-
think it was brought up that we were closed on Christmas, that we were closed on Christmas Eve.
Okay, I did not see that document.
I haven't seen it, that's what we were told.
Okay.
I'm gonna find, I have one.
So we just wanted to open it up for discussion so that you guys could have a dialogue about whether or not,
You know what?
what you wanted to do for Christmas Eve for the employees.
Are there thoughts around that of doing a half day on Christmas Eve?
Clerk may never be. The days off.
We're reviewing where it would be referenced in the directory. Commissioner Kern.
Yeah, thank you. Commissioner Tyler has a different version of the calendar.
Yeah.
She shows the 24th and 25th off.
Mhm.
Mine shows the 25th and 26th.
Okay.
Which one is accurate?
Do more.
Current revision on the calendar last year.
Currently, what we were told was the correct one is Christmas and the day after, for the long weekend. That's
Thursday and Friday.
That's the
25
thought
and
process at
26.
this point in time.
Okay. And what's the question? What's the discussion? Not to give it to them?
They
So
want,
the
the request has been made for a half day on Christmas Eve.
24th.
Who made that request?
It came from a staffer.
I guess I'd like to hear from the elected first before I voice my opinion one way or the other, or the department head. I assume this is for all our employees?
Would be,
Would be.
that was the request.
Okay, I guess I'd like to hear from them before I weigh in.
Gonna let Brian clarify for us
Yeah.
and then Commissioner Warfel.
So we had an active discussion, and Annette, do you have the resolution from the board that set this?
So this is, the floating day around Christmas changes depending on which day Christmas falls on. And that's the reason why it's on Friday versus being on Christmas Eve day. So it changes every year.
Right,
There
I've
may have
seen
been
it.
an error in the printing of the calendars possibly, but we send out a memo to all of the department heads from Brian that has the calendar and has the listed dates. So, and this goes back to, many years ago, but in our book, the way that it's written is, it depends on which day Christmas falls on.
Thank you. Commissioner Warfel.
Just around that same subject, I mean, when we made the change, we need to start thinking further ahead than all this knee jerking at the last minute. When we made the change that it's on the 26th, we knew the 24th was still the day before. We should have had that discussion. Not that I have any issues with having a half day on that day, and probably wouldn't have when we had the calendar. But we need to start thinking more long-term when we're making these decisions and looking at them. That being said, we're at this point. It's in a few weeks. I understand.
Thank you. Are there any other comments, questions, thoughts revolving around this?
Yeah, just real quickly, I'm reading this, and as this is stated, this appears to be correct. For 26, it changes. For this year, you would get the benefit of the long weekend, but unfortunately, we would be open on Christmas Eve. So just so that there's no confusion, this is right.
So I guess as a new elected official, I would like to know, we just get the calendar. When do we get to have a comment on it? So as a new elected official, I got the calendar of holidays, but I was never asked what my opinion was on it. So if there's a time I'm supposed to be paying attention to that, I would like to know what that is, but I kind of just got it and was told this is when the days off are. So I appreciate what Commissioner Warfel saying about thinking about it ahead of time. I just want to know when that ahead of time is.
We did the calendar the first of January.
Typically, our calendar get set in January. If it's not during the organizational, it's during those weeks following it. Commissioner Kern.
I have
It's
the
May.
26 calendar here, and Friday is the 25th. And so holiday shows up as 24th and 25th, Thursday and Friday in 2026.
So
Yeah.
basically, we have two holidays.
Commissioner Tyler.
One of my concerns, if we change this calendar, we need to find out what the courts are doing, because that could add to the cost of doing this. But they may be following what the state courts are doing, SCAO designs, so you're gonna need to bring the courts into that discussion also.
Sure. Are there any other comments, questions, thoughts?
So from the peanut gallery, our esteemed clerk may have just pointed out that SCAO is closed on the 24th.
What's closed?
The Supreme Court. Thank you, Stacy.
Yeah, they're closed, they're open that Friday, so they're closed.
They are open the Friday.
For Thursday, or Wednesday and Thursday.
So what is the desire here?
Technically, we should be closed Wednesday and Thursday and open Friday,
Yeah.
but we opted to make it better for.
Do Thursday,
employees for the
Friday.
long weekend.
Okay. Desire?
Does that mean the courts have to be open on Friday, our courts? If they're open on Friday, the Supreme Court's open Friday?
I have to ask Gary.
No. To Sharon's point, I mean, it's,
No,
but we can close when they're open, but we can't open when they're closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, our facilities, we would be the ones that determine if they're closed or open.
Correct.
So our courts would be closed on that Friday because our facilities are closed on that Friday, whether or not the Supreme Court is in session.
Correct, clerks would just, there wouldn't be court that day, but the clerks and the AAs and stuff would still be there on the 24th, processing court work and stuff. There just wouldn't be court in session.
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, to the board, just looking for direction on what is desired. I can have Jake's team put together an estimated cost to do half-day closure. We can put together just general comments on function of the court, any union contract considerations. I can do all of that if the board is desirous of continuing the discussion. If the board is good with the discussion that's occurred and does not need more information, I'm happy to go about it that way. I'm just asking.
Commissioner Tyler.
Many years ago, since I've been around in the county, it was a half a day for the 24th. And during the time, we've had it fall this way where the county board has given that to staff because of a long weekend. So I have seen it both ways. So, and somehow I was gone the day you decided this. I was on vacation. So I probably would have had more questions regarding it. And since I had a calendar which was incorrect, I thought this should be the correct way.
Appreciate that feedback. Giving them a half day.
That we give them a half day. Get this going. A little bit of this to me also though.
Falls into when we had this issue a few years ago with Juneteenth. And how many holidays are we gonna offer and how many exceptions are we gonna make? So I am a little bit concerned about, as John mentioned earlier today, consistency and keeping that consistency. So how many times are we gonna add extra holidays and when does it impact the budget and customer service for our residents?
John, did you have a comment? I thought I saw your hand go up.
No.
No? Okay. All right,
Alice has made a
motion.
motion, and for the sake of just moving it along, I'll support the motion to give them the extra half day. If it turns out that it's no, that's fine, but it was requested, came forward, and so I'll move it forward with the support of that, so.
Motion,
What's the motion?
The motion was to give them an extra half a day,
Half-day.
half day, and not change, not do anything with the Friday. Leave it the way it is at this point in
so the
time.
motion's been made by Commissioner Ott, their support by Commissioner Hinkleman. Is there further discussion on the item? No. Let's go ahead and do a roll call vote since it relates to money.
All right, Bell,
Yes.
Curran,
No.
Freeling,
No.
Harrison,
Yes.
Hinkleman,
Yes.
Ott,
Yes.
Tyler,
No.
Borath,
No.
Werfel,
No.
Yarborough,
No.
and Elliot's not here, so.
Was that Mary?
There's 5 no's,
Six
six no's, and 3 yeses.
Message failed.
Who do I have? One,
Four
two,
yeses.
three. Who was the last yes? Bell.
So the calendar stays as it,
Calendar stays as it is.
calendar stays as it is.
Because we're giving them one.
We are, yeah. I appreciate the discussion. We've brought it forward for consideration. Thank you guys for that consideration. Is there any other business that needs to come before the board? All right, hearing and seeing none, announcements, reminders, no meetings will be held on Thursday, November 27th for Thanksgiving. The facilities, county facilities will also be closed on Friday, November 28th, in recognition of that holiday. There is a meeting at our land bank today. One,
I thought,
And then you also, you have a transit
we
discussion.
do have a transit
That-
discussion.
You'll head upstairs.
tomorrow we meet at what, 2:00 on the phone?
One at a time, please. I'm sorry, Madam. Go ahead.
Do we meet tomorrow at 2:00 on the phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Commissioner Harrison.
Zoom or in person?
Either is fine. I have it planned for in person. I can certainly make it remote if needed.
Sure.
Okay.
Commissioner Tyler.
I'd like to announce that at 10:15, starting at 10:30, is the Buchanan City Ribbon Cutting to
Yeah.
open the downtown.
For
And you
tomorrow.
meet at Days Avenue and Front Street.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, Buchanan City.
Yeah, finally.
Commissioner Tyler.
Buchanan City. Go ahead.
Madam Chair, to Commissioner Tyler, I will happily report that at 7:30, I was calling their city manager asking how the painting was going today. And he was bemoaning that it's raining and street striping gets a little tricky in the rain, but
does.
they're ready and they're gonna host a good party tomorrow.
I know that our treasurer is in the room, and so I know that you have some office hours that are coming up in City of Niles, Niles Township. I think there's one on the 26th, Wednesday, next Wednesday, and then you have one on December 3rd as well.
I do. I've been in Niles City and Niles Township since September. I've been down there twice a month. It's been picking up with people coming in, so that's been very helpful. Starting in January, I will be visiting 11 municipalities each month, January, February, March. So I do have cards. There's some out here on the counter. I also have some available in my office. I also have it posted on my website. So these municipalities look forward to me coming in to help their residents avoid that foreclosure. So, and I look forward to it as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other announcements or reminders? All right, hearing none, we will stand adjourned. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone.